Happy Lunar New Year, friends. I am beyond excited to go into the forecast for January 27th until February 2nd. We have so many things happening this week. It's an exciting week and it's going to be a journey we're going on as we're going to go day by day by day. It's a rich week. Plus, it's the first new moon of the new year. And it's really kind of giving us a snapshot into what are some predominant energies that we're going to be influenced by that will be impacting us for the entire year, okay? Not just on January 29th. So stay tuned for a majority of this because there's just so many major events. Uranus is going direct. There's a lot of major events happening. So stay through the whole the forecast if you possibly can. I know some of you just like to stay through to Monday because Monday does usually offer the energies for the whole week. However, there's extra activities happening on Wednesday and Friday. So please stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and subscribe. That helps me so much. And share away if you feel that there's anyone who could benefit from this. And my name is Desiree Delaunay. By the way, I'm an acupuncturist, herbalist, and astrologer. And I am here to equip you with the information you need to really move through the week in a very powerful way. All right. So we are, I think, in full screen mode. So here we go. Let's begin with Monday. So first things first, we are officially, or have been, in Aquarius season. We're still in the earlier stages. And with this being an Aquarius season, this is about evolution, growth, okay? It's about being innovative too and just breaking out of routine, breaking out of what we usually do. So thinking outside the box is the theme. Now, I did talk about in last week the Pluto and Sun conjunction. That day, wow, on the day of conjunction, let me tell you, I was wiped out. How did you feel on conjunction day? That was intense. So Pluto is a transformation. It is a death and rebirth. And there's a lot of energy that is utilized in those phases. Like when you're going through a healing crisis or when you're going through a cleanse, it takes energy to detox. It takes energy to shed that old layer of skin. And with Pluto and Sun being so close, we're still in it because they're only about 6 degrees away from each other. We're still feeling it. Granted, every day the Sun is moving away from Pluto, but we are feeling our energy changing, our sense of purpose, even our identity. So there's some parts of what we identified with that is going away. It's just falling off. We're shedding it. And it's no longer something that is of utmost importance to us anymore. And that's shifting. There is a qualitative shift in what we value and what we want to focus upon for this next year. So if your life is a changing, just say yes. That's me. That's for sure me. My life is changing quite a bit. So this is a pretty big conjunction. And look, Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So every year at around this time, okay, like towards the end of January, we're going to feel this Sun-Pluto conjunction for the next 20 years. So it's almost like every year we're going to go through like a personal death and rebirth at around this time. So I hope that's exciting for you. But it's always for our growth and evolution, and just in the middle of the process. It's just not always pleasant and fun. Okay, so this can also ignite a lot. The Sun Pluto can also ignite a lot of intensity and a lot of passion towards something. It makes us strong. It makes us resilient. I mean, it's also, Pluto has a lot to do with inner healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing. So a lot of us are literally getting healed in some of our old traumas and wounds, and it is happening now. At least we have Sun trine Pluto. I'm sorry, Sun trine Jupiter. That's really nice. You'll see Jupiter down here that looks like a 4. And that will bring some sense of optimism and hopefulness and really seeing the silver lining. So even if you are exhausted, but you still know that it's for a good reason, it's for a good purpose, and you're gonna come out the other end of this, like that's what Jupiter is there. It's just to kind of cheer us on. Plus, it also adds to our personal growth, our development. So, lot of great things that Jupiter can at least give to us if some of us are having a rough go through the transition process. We also have Sun that is pretty close to Mercury. Now, as the days pass, like Mercury is coming closer to the Sun. Mercury is still in Capricorn this day. It does change over on Tuesday, though. So, this is the last day that Mercury is in a practical, analytical, long term planning, logical sign. But when Mercury and Sun come close together, our minds get a bit sharper, our communication clearer, more effective, and just quick, like quick wit too, and clever. So I like Mercury and Sun coming together, and we're gonna see the Cazimi in February, which is when they're like exactly at the same degree. But it does improve our ability to articulate effectively what we are experiencing and going through. And with this Pluto Sun coming together, it's helpful that Mercury is like inching its way over because I just remember on the exact day of the conjunction, I was feeling it, but I got nothing to say. Like I don't even know how to express what I'm going through internally. I know something's happening, but I can't tell you what it is. So this is why as Mercury is coming in, it's going to really support us and help us to find the words for the experiences that we are going through. And remember Pluto like takes what's hidden underneath and brings it to the surface. And we have Sun, right? The Sun, like bringing this light, bringing illumination to what is hidden, to what are these internal things, these deep subconscious things that have been affecting our lives. And then Mercury comes in and like, hey, let me just explain to you and outline it and show you what's going on and why this is happening and why you're feeling this way. So I appreciate the fact that we have Mercury coming in close. Now, we do have Moon here in Capricorn. So, Moon in Capricorn, that's an earth sign again. And so it is more grounded, it is more practical, it's more analytical. So, we have both Mercury and Moon on this day, just kind of like trying to logically process what we're going through on a spiritual level. It might not fully like pan out, but it's a trying, but I think as Mercury like crosses over into Aquarius starting tomorrow, it's going to be a lot easier to express yourself. We do have Moon opposite Mars. So this day is filled with the feels, you know. Mars is going to bring some of that tension, conflict, like inner turmoil to possibly make us a little snarky and passive aggressive. I will say it's a spicy week. It's a spicy week. There is a lot of action happening with our emotions and our feelings. And so this can also make us impulsive and just react quickly and intensely. But it can also ignite some passion too, ignite some passion and some drive and motivation as well. I do recommend a good amount of physical activity, preferably out in nature if weather permits, but a good amount of physical activity to help relieve all of this pent up energy and all of this transition. I mean, look, Pluto's purifying and it detoxes. So we have to clean out the debris when we go through this kind of shedding. And so that's why with this situation, I feel that doing some physical activity will help further that shedding and just make it easier for you and reduce the difficulty of it. Okay. So we talked about that. Let's see what else I see in my notes here. Oh, we do have Moon trine Saturn. I'm sorry, is it trine? No, I don't think it's trine. That doesn't look right. It's in sextile. It's in sextile to Saturn. That's a mistake on my notes. But it's Moon sextile Saturn, which is a helpful hand. Saturn rules Capricorn. This at least adds a bit more of that emotional stability and groundedness. So we've just increased that a bit. So that is helpful. I like that. And we'll probably want to just invest our time in relationships that have a future, that are of substance, that we're probably going to be very picky about our time and who we are spending with, and who we are sharing those very important moments of our life too. All right. Let's talk about Venus. Venus is in trine with Mars. I like this a lot. And it's going to be around until January 30th. So it's not super long, but we got a few days of it. This will increase passion within our relationships, even like, more romantic with our partners too. It can also ignite some creativity, and improve our social skills, and also just motivating us towards our own pleasures and desires and what's fun for us, and I would say even self-care to a certain degree, will be prioritized more with this situation here. All right, on Monday only, we have Venus conjunct Saturn. So that's going to help with providing some boundaries, with our relationships and emotional boundaries as well, because it's communicating with Moon. And then we have it in sextile to Uranus. We have Venus in sextile to Uranus. I like this for some excitement and some fun within our close relationships, something different. And then we also have this Venus conjunct Neptune for a long time. They are going to be, like I said before, we have a lot of Pisces influence, but this Venus seats only 4 degrees apart, and they are going to be together until February 11th. And with that conjunction, that is, in my opinion, because they're both in Pisces. Okay, Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. It's like the absolute best location. So this tells me our imagination, our intuition, our creativity, our sensitivity, all of that is going to be increased. And then you have Mars that's, in trine with all of this, which also adds to that fire. It adds fire to that. So if you are dreaming more, or if your creative juices seem to be like on a new level these days, it's because of this whole setup here. Okay, so last couple things I want to talk about. We have Mars. Mars is trining all of this. Okay, it's trining. You see all these 3 blue triangles here. It's trining Neptune. It's trining Venus. So like I said, intuition, creativity, being romantic with our partner, connection, like the intimacy within our relationships. It also has structure. There's more structure and boundaries. So if you're finding yourself kind of like, normally I don't speak up. Lately, I've had to draw the line. I can't take it anymore. So you'll probably have those sensations where you're like, okay, that's enough. I'm not going to be taken advantage of anymore, or I'm not going to be, unappreciated anymore. You'll probably be more vocal and more verbal as well. So I think that's a really good thing, being able to explain like what your needs, desires, and expectations are. So, and another wonderful aspect of Mars and Saturn in this way, in the trine, is that Mars is like our drive, right? And our passion, and like just that go-getter energy. Granted, it's in retrograde in a water sign, it's not at its super strength. Okay, it has strength, but it's not super powerful. But it's still nice that it is talking with Saturn, because Saturn provides the discipline and the commitment and the structure and the follow through. So I like some of this initiative energy that we get from Mars, and then we have the commitment, follow through, and structure and discipline that we get from Saturn. And they're kind of working together. So it does build up some resilience, some perseverance, and just leadership. I'm going for it. Now, look, when Mars goes direct, we'll feel the difference. That's not happening until the last week of February. So, but I do have some good news. There is going to be in this week's forecast, it's going to land on Friday. I'm going to be talking about Uranus going direct, and you will feel a qualitative change internally. So we'll talk about that when we get to Friday. Okay, Tuesday. Let's talk about Tuesday. The day before our lunar new moon. All right, we've got Mercury has shifted. Mercury is now in Aquarius. And look at this lineup. Like, okay, yeah, we have moon still in Capricorn, but Mercury and Pluto are only a degree away. And anything within 10 degrees, right, they become like fused together. So we essentially have a Sun, Pluto, Mercury conjunction, and the moon is not far away from all of that too. I mean, they really are all together pretty much. We just have the moon out of the sign of Aquarius. So this means, like I was saying, you are going to have more clarity and understanding and being able to speak to the internal changes that you are going through, the transformation and the evolution that you're going through. And look, these changes with Aquarius, it's our next level. It's our new level. It's an upgrade. We're going through an upgrade. Okay. So this is celebratory in nature. Now the moon is feeling all of this as well. So you probably in your body your body's going to feel it more. Your mind is going to be running a little bit more. Okay. And then you have, look, Mars that is in opposition with moon. So it's further revved up. There might be some irritation, some frustration happening because Mars is in retrograde in Cancer. We usually see some passive aggressiveness that happens too. So if you're moody and irritable a bit on Tuesday, because change is not always delightful and fun, that is to be expected. That is to be expected. Like I said, going out a hike in nature between this moon in Capricorn and an earth sign opposite Mars, getting really physically active is going to be your best bet to help relieve any of this pent up energy here. So we got Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius is going to be way more open-minded. Okay. Really like great with creative problem solving and seeing things differently. Like you're going to be able to wrap your mind, your head around what's happening and the changes that you're undergoing. So your mind is going to be able to see it all. It's very great at coming up with inventive solutions to things, creative problem solving, and it's talkative. It likes to be social too. And it is very considerate. Aquarius energy is very considerate about the group dynamic, the benefit for the all rather than just the individual. So it is very cares about the collective consciousness here too. Okay. I talked about moon conjunct. So your intuition with moon being so close to everything, and look, on Wednesday, it's like all together, but with moon being so close to everything, your level of insights, revelations, channeling, intuition, psychic hits like that, those are going to ramp up. They're going to be ramping up this week for sure, as they are all so close to each other. So here we are on Wednesday. Oh my gosh, this is the day. This is the day. This is really officially the beginning of the new year, the real new year. It is the Chinese New Year. This is the day that the energy of the wood snake begins as well. But let's take a look. I got the exact time that this transition happens. Now, this is Central Time, by the way, but it'll be at 7:36 a.m. Eastern or 4:36 a.m. Pacific. Well, they're the same. But so I'm just going to say 7:36 a.m. Eastern Time is when we officially cross over to the year of 2025. And look at our stellium. Isn't she gorgeous here? We've got the moon, the sun, Mercury, and Pluto all together. As you can see at this time, moon and sun are exactly 9 degrees and 51 minutes. exactly in line with each other. So this chart that I'm going to go into, it is a snapshot of it's kind of like the birth chart for the year. This is the birth chart for the year. So these energies are going to be in the background for the whole year until we reach the next new Lunar New Year. And so this is a new moon. Whenever we see the moon and the sun together, that's a new moon. So this is the first new moon of the new year. Now, I've mentioned these qualities. Look, this year is all about transformation, change, evolution, being very innovative, being very creative, and we are thinking way outside of our usual box that we are in. We're seeing the mind literally expand. Your perspective is going to shift about life in general. Where is Aquarius in your chart too? Okay, make sure you look that up, because that area of your life is going to get tremendous attention and focus for this year. Let me know down below what house is your Aquarius energy. Some of you responded in the last forecast. So if you already know, cool. If you don't know, then just go look up your natal chart. I have a link down below in the description on how to look up your natal chart. So once you do that, what house, what number is this over? So in this situation, it's in the second house. Second house, if you have Aquarius over your second house has to do with your finances. It's your money. So this person, this hypothetical person here, will have tremendous expansion, evolution, upgrade in their finances and even in their possessions, their homes, things of that nature. Like this could be someone who even moves, because we see real estate often in the second house. That's just to give you an example. Okay. So as we are entering this new moon, I wanted to mention the decan. So each sign here is further divided into thirds. So that's why the degrees really matter. So from degree 0 to 9 degrees, okay, of Aquarius, that's the first third. That's known as the first decan. And I wanted to share with you some of the properties, like the qualities of the first decan, because that also is an extra layer of information that informs us what this next year is going to be about. And, I've said many times, like this next era, like you want to stand out, you want to be different, you want to be eccentric, be the rebel all you want. Be as weird as you can be, because that is the major focus. So I want to talk about the first decan of Aquarius. There are other like planets that rule these subsections, by the way. So it is a co-ruling by Venus and Saturn. A lot of times we can see like the person who leaves home or maybe leaves a family business to pursue something that they care about, to become an artist. And it's about breaking away. It's kind of like the mark of the exile who forges a different path. So this is breaking away from status quo, breaking away from everything they've known, breaking away from their homeland and migrating to another country. That is the energy. That is the essence of this decan. So it's time to be brave. There's a lot of bravery here. There's a lot of boldness here. There is just stepping out and stepping up for what you believe, what you want, what you care about. And I am telling you, this is the year where that is going to be celebrated, appreciated, respected, revered. So trying to fit in and trying to conform is absolutely not the way of 2025. No, look at all these planets, major ones too. I mean, the luminaries, we've got the moon, the sun, then we have Mercury, and we have Pluto. You're going to be able to be different and do very well. Be different, and it's going to be a lot easier. You're going to have luck on your side. Okay, you're going to have luck on your side. And not only that, look at this. We have Jupiter. This is the one with the 4 that looks like a 4. That is literally the planet of luck and opportunities and growth and abundance. and it's trining. It's a good positive conversation. All of this, okay, mostly the sun and the moon, but that's the thing. Like your purpose that you choose that is so different, okay, that is so like not traditional, you're going to have doors open for you because Jupiter is about opportunities. It is about opening doors. It's about growth. It's about personal development. This is a year to truly develop ourselves in a very unique way and to enjoy it. It's going to be an enjoyable experience. So very cool. I'm very excited about this. Let me see if there's any other things that I want to mention. Nope, that's pretty much the main ones. Yep, that's the main one that I wanted to let you know of, is just how luck is on your side in this change that you're going through, in this upgrade evolution that you're going through. So please don't be afraid. I mean, you can feel afraid, fine, but don't let that stop you. Don't let that inhibit you. You know, it's just feel the fear and do it anyways. That would be a great motto if fear is something that normally holds you back, because you don't need to. Luck is on our side. Okay. All right. So Happy New Year. Let's go on to Thursday. Thursday, I don't have that much. A lot of it's pretty much the same. You know, the moon is still in Aquarius, but the main one is Moon and Uranus. So this one has got a square, and oh my gosh. I mean, just to give you an idea, one of my Moon and Uranus squares, that's when I discovered that my daughter had lice and that I had lice. That was not a fun surprise. So Uranus brings unexpected surprises, things that you cannot plan for, things that you're just gonna have to deal with. It might even create like an emotional, internal like shakeup that you're gonna have to just move through. So if you're able to get through this without some sort of disruption, amazing. I just noticed for me, that's not the case. So yeah, when we see Moon Uranus, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I hope, what's going to happen? What's going to happen that day? But it can create some feelings of restlessness, but it can also create feelings of like a need to just be free and independent, and like, oh, like if you've been at home for many days, for whatever reason, maybe the weather, we have snow right now and there was no school, but you're just like, I just need to get out of my house. Like even that kind of sensation we'll get from a moon square with Uranus. But usually, like if it is unplanned events, they're ones that kind of catch you off guard. All right, so that's Thursday, but a lot of this stuff is very similar. But Friday, it's Uranus goes direct. Oh, the relief. Okay, look, I know we still have Mars in retrograde, and we got till next month till that goes direct, but you are going to feel the pace shifting on this day with Uranus direct. So this is going to be marking like a period of increased clarity and increased movement. When Uranus has been in retrograde for a while, it's in retrograde for several months. So this is a big day. Like you're going to feel like there's some momentum, some traction, some forward movement rather than just kind of like this molasses kind of movement. But there's been a lot of introspection and a lot of like reevaluation in this sector of your chart. Where is Uranus in your chart? Because in this situation, we've got Uranus in Taurus over the third house. All right, Uranus in Taurus over the third house. So where is Taurus in your chart? What house is it over? So especially in that area of your life, you're going to see some growth, some action, some movement, some clarity. You're going to feel like chains breaking off, that kind of sensation. It's liberating. Uranus is like a lightning strike. So it's literally like a breakthrough. You may feel a breakthrough around this time. And look, it doesn't have to happen exactly on Friday. Sometimes it's like the next day or a couple days after, but this Uranus moves slow. It stays in a sign for 7 years. So it takes its time, but this is the day that it finally goes direct. You can implement some new things here and implement some new changes because it's going to pick up real quickly at this time. So if you've been kind of like, oh, I really want to start this thing, but I'm just waiting for the right time for it, this will be a good time, especially if it's a creative type of project or something that utilizes your intuitive gifts and your creativity. Yeah, because look, Moon is in Pisces on this day, so it changes from the Aquarius energy into Pisces energy, and Pisces is incredibly intuitive. It's emotionally intelligent. It knows its own emotions, but also can feel the emotions of those around them. So empathic, essentially, and just a rich like imagination and creativity. So if you have some sort of creative project or utilizing your imagination or utilizing your sensitivity, utilizing your spiritual giftings, and that's something you've been kind of like waiting on, oh, this day, I would say, yeah, you're good to go to start on that. So you don't need to hesitate. And then you'll feel even more momentum, like I said, when Mars goes to direct I think it's February 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we have Moon conjunct Saturn. That is, let me see. It's 8 degrees away from each other. The closer it gets, the more we feel it. But with Moon and Saturn, sometimes that can feel a bit heavy and feel like the weight of responsibilities and like, kind of putting aside our pleasures and taking care of just the practical things. It can bring some sense of loneliness and isolation. So just keep an eye out for that. Moon is in a water sign. So if you feel some of that heaviness from Saturn, like I just mentioned, make sure to do some kind of water treatment. This would be go to the float tank, go take a bath. I prefer bath or float tank, but a shower would work too. But just being in water, around water, that might help soothe any kind of difficulty that Saturn brings. Okay. We also have some squares to Jupiter. We have Moon square Jupiter. We have Saturn square Jupiter a little bit, yeah. And so with that, it can bring excess of emotions. Like it can exaggerate some of our emotional experiences or just amplify them a bit more. It can also result in being overindulgent. So be careful of excess, essentially, and trying to numb ourselves from some of the feelings that we may be getting with Moon next to Saturn. That would be the caution here. Okay, but largely just know that Uranus is direct on Friday, and this is a celebratory day. I'm very, very happy about that. Okay, so Saturday we have the Moon is still in Pisces. Okay, so that whole imagination, creativity, intuition, that's just getting stronger because we're kind of we're separating from Saturn, and now it's going towards Venus and Neptune. So I mean, Moon, Venus, Neptune. Oh my God. And Uranus is direct now. And then you have all of this, like the Sun and Mercury and Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, all this that's happening right now on Saturday. Please use your imagination. Please use your creativity. Like, use your artistic gifts and abilities. Use your spiritual giftings. I mean, this is like off the charts incredible. Like you could make a piece of work that is remembered for years to come. I feel like this is a very powerful creation day. Very powerful. If you're a writer, writing, if you're a musician, oh my gosh, like writing an epic song, that this would be amazing because you see a lot of musicians with Pisces influence. Yes, lean into all of that. Make something, create something, do something on this day, write something. I mean, I just think that you're going to get so much, like, and it's going to come easily. It's going to come pouring down with all of this Pisces and Aquarius energy and the stelliums and the two signs. This is just, it's insane. I'm so excited. I am going to be definitely writing on this day, making time for it. So Saturday's a powerful day. Take advantage of it. Please don't let it just pass you by. No. No, 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 no. And it'll be good time even to be around people too, just with this moon and Venus so close together in Pisces. Like you'll have some rich conversations and quality time and connection, like absolutely. And you probably come up with, like, for example, I could see two friends coming together and they have a breakthrough idea to serve the community. And then like this is the birth of like some sort of community organization, or because Aquarius is very humanitarian oriented, or it could be like the launch of a book idea, or like or the launch of a business idea. I don't know, just some kind of like launching, birthing, coming out of the sky like lightning bolt and like a spiritual awakening. Wake your ass up to what you need to be like doing. So very exciting Saturday. Enjoy it. Okay, so Sunday we have a shift in the moon. We still have our stelliums in Aquarius and Pisces, that's still there, but our moon represents our moods, our feelings, our internal world, even our physical body, and it's going to heat up a bit. You know, we dipped into extreme yin on Saturday. Yin is creative energy too, by the way. But then now we have the moon that's transitioned into Aries, and that is like action. It's almost like the idea came like a lightning strike on Saturday, and Sunday is put it into action, implementation, execution, because Aries is not going to sit around. It's ruled by Mars. It wants to get things done. It wants to start things. It is not just hemming and hawing. Like it needs to move. It needs to move. So another good day for heat exposure. If for some reason you need it, I mean, it's got a really nice sextile to Jupiter, so you're going to feel even more very optimistic and like hopeful. And this is going to happen. It's going to work. Like you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, it's actually going to work. I just know it's going to work. So there's a lot of positivity here. But I think the moon's in a really good condition. I'm not too worried about it. But if you do feel restless or too excitable, even, then you could definitely do some sort of heat exposure or run, work out, like get a good sweat going as well. This is also sextile to Venus. So man, you're just going to feel this so much. What was hidden is going to come forward. And that's been kind of a theme a lot with, especially the sun that has been close to Pluto. But now that the moon has a direct conversation with Pluto, like you're really going to feel the transformation and understand it. Like you're going to embody like this new being. You're going to become the embodiment of it. It's not just a thought in your head. Like it's literally changing your cells. So this week is fun. I really love this week. I hope you enjoyed this forecast. And gosh, I so want to hear if you go through anything really cool. So if you've listened to this and something happened throughout the week, can you please comment and share? Because I mean, one, it's the beginning of the new year. It's legitimately the beginning of the new year. Plus, we have Uranus Direct and all of these stelliums and Pisces and Aquarius. So it's both water and air. So there's both yin and yang action going on. So it's both energies are pretty well represented, I would say. All right, thank you so much. And if you would love to get a cosmic clarity consultation, deep dive into your core energies and your natal chart, as well as I also do solar return readings now. So if you wanted to get a reading for your next from birthday to the next birthday to know what your year has in store, because your birthday is not just another day, by the way. It's the beginning of a new cycle, and the way the planets are on the day of your birthday, that is like a snapshot into that whole next year of your life. So it's really, really cool. So I'll put the links down below for a basic cosmic clarity consultation, for a solar return reading. And if you want ongoing support where I incorporate these astrological energies, then please join my Rise and Thrive community. All right. Well, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, share away. and I look forward to hearing from you. And we will see you in the next forecast.